And now it gives me great pleasure to bring to our stage tonight the YW Boston President and CEO, Sylvia Ferrell-Jones, who I think probably needs no introduction to most of you in this room. She is an amazing woman who is doing amazing work here at the Y. Sylvia's leadership has been invaluable to Boston and this organization over the past 9 years, at a time when issues of inequity are more pressing than ever. Please give a warm welcome to the lovely Sylvia Ferrell-Jones.
Thank you. In 2013, Reggie, a manager at National Grid, was enrolled in our Lead Boston program. Both Reggie and his manager wanted him to build a broader network outside of the company. And they also wanted him to learn more about Boston's neighborhoods. National Grid has many, many customers in the neighborhoods of Boston. They're a huge supplier of energy. And so it was important for Reggie to meet both of these goals. In July of that year, Reggie and his Lead Boston classmates found themselves in Boston Medical Center's neonatal intensive care unit. And as they heard about the work of the unit, Reggie saw all of those little tiny babies. And then he noticed the great big machines all throughout the room. And he realized that on that hot July day, when demand was at a peak, his colleagues at National Grid had to do everything in their power to keep that energy flowing so that those big machines could keep the hearts beating in those tiny babies. And he was deeply moved. Through the course of the year, Reggie did learn about Boston's neighborhoods. He learned about the key players and the key places and how the systems worked. He built a robust network. He grew in confidence, and he became a stronger leader in National Grid. When I heard Reggie's story, it became clear to me that both the investment in time and the investment in Reggie's money that he paid for the Lead Boston program had paid off for him and for National Grid. So I ask you now, think about who in your organization might benefit from the kind of experience that Reggie had. Who might grow in knowledge, in confidence, and in connections? Who might become a stronger leader in your organization? Rosa was a homeless mother living in a shelter in Boston for women and children. Nina is a health educator at YW Boston. Nina went to that shelter and offered workshops in heart health, sexual health, stress management, and some other topics. Rosa decided to go to the workshops, and she found that the stress management workshop had the greatest impact for her because there was a lot of stress in Rosa's life. She had stress because she didn't have custody of all of her children. And she had stress because her youngest daughter had been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and Rosa found it very difficult to deal with that illness. So through the course of the workshops, Rosa was very quiet. She seemed overwhelmed. She had a hard time participating and engaging with the other women. She seemed like she didn't have any hope for her life. But Nina had found out about Rosa's daughter and the type 1 diabetes. So she gathered some extra resources and took them with her to the shelter the following week. When they sat down together to go through these materials, Nina explained the information to Rosa, and Rosa's face lit up. She was so excited. She talked, and she asked questions. And for the first time, she seemed to have hope for the future. 4 months later, Nina called to check in with Rosa to see how things were going. And Rosa had made so many positive changes in her life. She had moved out of that shelter into her own place. She had all of her children living with her, and they were all enrolled in school. Rosa said, "I have motivation and new drive for life. Thank you for helping me." When I heard Rosa's story, I realized that every life that we intersect with gives us the opportunity to change someone's future. Thank you for supporting YW Boston and for helping us and giving us the opportunity to change 3,000 futures every year.